Yo, 10 shots, 6 blunts blowing through the session. Dragging on a spliff, reading, dragging on a cliff. A MC in the booth, an assassin on the roof. I'm just waiting to shoot. Nigga, hurry up and die. Greatest truck of spears, you would think you had drama.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dada, a.k.a. Chef. This is strictly for the ladies. As a matter of fact, it's for everybody, but it's for the ladies. Like, subscribe, share, because I forgot again. My bad, AB. I'm getting used to it. But gentlemen, so what I'm curious, because I already know who he's going to say. I went differently because he's going to say it. MLW's kind of said, who do you want to see in the future go against Taya Valkryie? And I was like, good topic to talk about for our ladies. Who do we think? And I'm going to go last because I know who he's going to say. So AB, I want you to go first because he's going to be extremely biased because she has 5 belts right now and comes out of California. I'm just saying.
All right. So I got somebody that I think we've seen on MLW a little. We've seen her on Ring of Honor and AEW. She's got a really great personality. She's got a good look. She's in AEW doing a lot of dark matches, trying to hone in on her skills. I think her personality, her mic work, all of that is there.
Hold up, before you mention her name, didn't Harley Dead already beat her ass a bunch of times? If it's the same person I'm thinking you're going to say.
Who are we talking about? Who are you going to talk about?
Willow Nightingale?
Yes.
When you say personality, I knew it was going to be her. And Harley Dead beat her ass every single time they wrestled.
Remember, so I think it was one of the last week's podcasts we were talking about the good versus evil, the face versus the heel, right? Right now, for the women, there are really no faces. There's heels. Taya's really a heel, right? She's an over pushed heel.
Well, because I think she would have to be the face because she went against Harley Dead, who was the heel.
Yeah, and see that's where it gets confusing, right? That simple tactic, the simple understanding of heel versus face versus heel, good versus bad. You're like, okay, so who am I rooting for here? Just pick a side, pick a color. So I think that she would go and offset the the heel stigma that you have around Holiday, that you have around Taya, that you have around some of the other women there, because some of the other women that they bring in are they look like badasses. They don't look like Willow does, smiling, going around the ring, giving high fives. You need that. And I think that bringing somebody in again, like Willow, what it'll end up doing is it'll allow those other audiences that have seen her before in AEW and Dark, on Ring of Honor, it'll allow them to come into MLW and say, hey, look, that is a familiar face. I like her work. And she does work, especially now that she's been honing it in. She does work like a bigger woman, and again, compliment. She's moving people around. She's telling people where she needs to go, bringing up her ring generalship. So I think she's going to put those two things together, and she's going to be a pretty good force in MLW. How about you, Mr. Muffins?
Well, he knows who I'm going to say, so I'm going to throw a curveball here because of what you said, having that bubbly personality and throwing that line between a good person and a bad person. If I'm going to have a good person in the show, then I'll go with Christi Jaynes because she does have that bubbly personality. She's also beautiful that you can market around her on like, we're going to do a sexy photo shoot with the belt, something. She could do that. If you put her in a business suit, she could do all that kind of stuff. Look professional, look giggly, look bubbly, have her do different things. So if I'm looking for that specific face, it'll definitely have to be someone like Christi Jaynes that I could build around that. If I'm looking for the perfect heel, then my girl 5 Bells Viva, because she could work both, but she looks better as a heel than a face anytime. And then also someone that you could market in an evil way, you know, in a sexy, evil bikini shoot, you know, blood here, you know, holding a knife there or something, make her look evil type deal. But at the same time, you could mold like a business person, someone that could tell you that story coming from nothing to where she is now, and hit that demographic of females that were down, but they never took themselves out of their life. They just always just kept working, and now everything's paying off. So that will be my two persons that I would use as a face and a heel type deal in MLW. So
now, obviously, we're all super Viva Van fans. I love Viva Van. I think she's the shit. I love Christi Jaynes. I think she's the shit. I agree with everything that Muffin said.
That's a first. That's a first. Stamp it. 2:53 at 8:24:22, 2:53 p.m. AB. Stamped it. He agreed with me. Holy shit. Holy shit. Can't believe it. Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
So, I knew he would go with Viperous, with Viva Van, and I was surprised with Christi Jaynes, even though we love Christi Jaynes. Interviewed her, absolutely amazing chick. And a lot of people don't know her work. I was surprised where she had posted something against, oh man, he was in MLW for a little bit, where she was doing the luchador stuff.
Gringo Loco.
Now, I've never seen, like, we've seen Lita kind of do luchador stuff in WWE. Yeah. You're like, okay, that was something that the main market you didn't really see before, right? You never really seen that from a female. Christi Jaynes took that to like 6 levels above that, and you're like, holy shit, she feels like Ray Phoenix. She feels like Pentagon Jr. And you're like, I wonder how much she can keep going with this if given the opportunity. So I agree with you 100% there. Now, I was going to go Viperous the whole time. Like, I love Viperous. I think she's super talented. She has that Cruella de Vil kind of black and white thing. I think is sexy as shit. Super talented. I'm a big Viperous person, but I was like, I got to do something a little different, right? So there's a girl that I've paid attention to her work because Alex Kane did a show in WXW, which is in Germany. Now, there was a guy named Bad Bones back in Impact Wrestling that used to work there. He was cool with Bram. So I got to know Bad Bones, started paying attention a little bit to WXW, fell off, but I started watching again because Alex Kane was there. Now, there's a girl named Mila Schmidt. Obviously, she's German. And I was like, let me check her Instagram real quick, see, maybe she's just a one-time thing. She's holding belts in like 3 different countries. So I was like, holy shit, let me start YouTubing this girl. Mila Schmidt, to me, is ready for TV. And she speaks English. You don't need a mouthpiece for her. Absolutely stunning young lady. And I was like, damn, what better way to pull off like the David and Goliath thing? Having someone that, let's just be honest, I said the name, you guys had no idea. She comes in, you knock off somebody like Taya Valkryie. You know what that does to the crowd? They're like, wait, what the fuck? This is supposed to be a squash. And all of a sudden, you could build this girl up, face, heel, however you want to do it. And she's ready. Like, and I mean, she's certified ready. Like, the stuff she does, she's fucking amazing. So I'm going to say Mila Schmidt. I love everything you guys said. I am anti-Willow Nightingale because she is two-faced for me. Like, she is just, I have a beef with baby faces, right? Like, I my hero growing up was Darth Vader as a kid. I'm fucked up in the head, right? So, I never liked the good guys, like Yoda was the bad guy. Everybody was bad to me that was good. Everybody that was good was bad. So, Willow Nightingale is the epitome. Like, I can't think of another female that is the most perfect face than Willow Nightingale. You know what I mean? Like, everything babyface screams Willow Nightingale. So she great talent. We've seen her work. She did her thing. Now she's in AEW Dark and all that other stuff. If she comes back, cool. But the one thing is how does she come back and go against Taya when Holiday was beating the bricks off of her? So that's my question to you.
I think with the break, a lot of things sort of change, right? The storylines change. Maybe they bring her back and she comes in as the bubblegum face and starts knocking off just regular girls that they bring in for a show. And then they can reminisce about how Holidead keeps on knocking her off. She beats Holidead for the next break. Hopefully it's not a long break. And then for the second iteration of another break, that's when they can start getting her against Taya, because Taya can say, I'm tired of your happy-go-lucky smiles everywhere. That's not what this is about. You're not a real wrestler, and that's going to turn Taya even more heel, and the good versus evil gets played into there, right? You like that?
I like it, except for the fact that you got Taya with the belt for a year.
It would have to be a long time for Taya, right? But when you think about MLW right now, who is in there that can take her down, and who is an MLW faithful that can take her down? Because there hasn't been a lot of movement in the women's division, in the featherweight division. It's just there's a few girls there. They bring them in. They brought in Shaza in Dallas earlier this year, and they brought her in, and then they gave her like a 3-minute match against Holidead, and I'm like, whoa, what? That was just way too quick. You're gonna bring her in, during one of the biggest weekends of the year. Give her some time. Especially since she's coming all the way from Australia, I think.
Australia.
So, yeah, I mean, I thought that they should have given her. I know that they want to put Holidead over, but Shaza's a name. People know her. Maybe she's not the most known, but people know her. And she's a pretty face. She's there. Don't just do a squash match on her, when they could have just pulled almost anybody out of that WrestleMania weekend and just said, come in for a squash match.
One thing I love about AEW Dark and Elevation is that they use a lot of talent that you've probably never heard of, and then you start to see it, which is why I love watching the women matches, because there's a lot of females that you normally would never even known about unless you watch and follow indie promotions. Places like MLW, N.W.A. should look at AEW Dark and Elevation and start putting some of these females that you see in some of those messages that have the look that you're looking for. And you could build someone into a star in an MLW.
So that's the look that I'm looking for.
Yeah, all right. See someone like her into N.W.A., into Impact, and you could watch that show and say that I like her. And Megan Myers, and Caitlin King, they have the look. They already know what they're doing. Take them from there and put them as a front side in your company, and you can build that person into a bigger star, because now you have more eyes watching your product before they knew who she was. So that's why I love Elevation and Dark, because you could see a lot of the female wrestlers, and you could say, okay, her I like, her I don't like, her I like her style, and you could pick, as someone that's considered a nobody into and make them into a star in your company.
So let me ask you.
No, go ahead.
Taya, because my fault, AB. We're talking about Taya. If Taya goes over and wins the N.W.A. belt, I'm telling you right now, Taya is not dropping the MLW belt anytime soon.
No.
But would you guys like? What's her name? Oh man, she was with N.W.A. for a while. Spanish chick.
Thunder Rosa?
No. She had beef with Taryn Terrell.
Does she? Oh shit. She used to wrestle WF. Yeah. What's her name? That she does the split with Eminem.
Yeah. She does the split going into the ring.
Yeah. When she goes, that she got thrown out in Royal Rumble like in 2 seconds when she came out. Come on, AB. Oh shit!
Man,
I want to say
you got me there.
You Rosa Mendes, but it's not Rosa Mendes. Melina.
No. There you go, Melina. Now,
Eminem.
you got girls like Melina, Tara Terrell,
Yep.
Angelina Love that are all kind of staying around the industry.
Yep.
None of them are being signed, which is kind of weird that Angelina Love hasn't been signed to Impact because she's arguably top 3 all-time greatest Impact Wrestling female behind Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. So you would think that they would kind of give her back that spot. But I think
But she's working though. She's an announcing person with N.W.A.
That's Velvet Sky.
Oh, but she's working there also too. Angelina Love now.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think any of them. I think there's a PBAs, right? So, and let's just say it's not. We got Davey Richards going over there. We got Taya Valkryie going over there, and yeah, Taya signed with AAA. I understand that, but you have some kind of working agreement where I'm pretty sure you could go, well, hey, I want to pull one of your ladies, put her on the show, and I think that if you start putting a few veterans around MLW, it makes Taya look way more credible. And also gives the women a little more something. And I think somebody like Melina, who will out-talk anybody that's with MLW right now, would be such a dope look. That's why I was like, damn, if there was a veteran and this is how I'll take. Oh, no, AB, what were you going to say? I cut you off.
No. You keep going, man. You got a great point. Let's keep that going.
Okay. If you had to pick out of any of the names of the veterans that you know or someone else you think, right now, like I said, I would love Melina because I think she brings something that MLW doesn't have. Let's be honest, Taya is smoking hot, amazing in ring, and I agree with you. It took a while, and I was like, damn, when you said it, I was like, yo, AB's right about her. A lot of people don't have rings big enough for what Taya is going to do, or some of these girls aren't physical enough to the abuse that Taya is used to. Because, I mean, let's be honest, Taya be on some bloody shit when she's in Mexico doing her thing. So you go back and you're like, damn, I want somebody a little more aggressive. Get a veteran in who understands ring awareness. Let them be able to start, accessing what they do. And I think it'll be a beautiful thing. That's why I was like, damn, when we talk Taya, I want to bring up some of the veterans and see what the guys think of how to, keep making the featherweight division look better.
Yeah, I could see them bringing in some of the more seasoned talent and saying, hey, let's bring them in. Let's give Taya a little bit of some competition. Man, the problem is that no one wants to give up their more seasoned vets to go to an MLW or some of the more independent promotions and lose that clout, right? Lose everything that they're building in a TNA or an Impact. In an AEW, because they say, well, you go down there and you lose, or you go down there and it doesn't bode well with what we're trying to do with you, then they lose that push because they say, well, you lost here against, Taya, but you're going to come over here and you're going to beat our champion. No, let's not do that. But I can see them building it with enough seasoned talent, but I don't know that with all of the contracts and all negotiations and business and all of those other things, you end up losing the dream match capabilities and ending up with some girl off the street that's barely, she's not even the color green to go against Taya for a 3-minute match, and then you put that on a show and you say, man, that's who we got Taya against. Okay, yeah, it's another squash match, but we've seen Taya in squash matches. We want to see her against better talent. So it's a give and a take. The business sort of, it's like boxing, right? Where you say, well, how long did it take Triple G to face Canelo, or really Canelo to face Triple G? Well, it took him until Triple G was almost 40. Yeah. He was already on his decline. So yeah, negotiations and all that, but backstage stuff.
Aren't there fighting game coming up next week or 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, it's the DSC, the weekend after the DSC or of the DSC, something like that.
Yeah, the real Mexican Independence Day.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why he likes to do that.
I know. That's why
So-
the other Mexican used to do it on Dieciséis. What was his name? El Mayweather.
Yeah. And
AB, if you had to pick a veteran, who would you have? And then he could finish off.
You know, I'd like to see Angelina Love. I think that N.W.A has a few people in there that that they could that they could let MLW borrow. I would have liked to have seen. Gosh, she just signed as a coach for AEW just 2 weeks ago, and
what? Madison Rain?
yeah, I would have loved to have seen her over
this
in
guy lost
MLW.
all of his good guy points. Oh,
You were doing so good in this podcast, bro. I think you almost had it. I think you almost had it going on, and he had to mess it up right now. So
yeah, but I would have loved to have seen her over seasoned talent over in MLW. But I really think that MLW also could use some of the younger talent. Some of these talents that are working with La Mera in her Mission Pro Wrestling camp. You know, we talked about her recently, Janaike. I would like to see her in MLW.
Yes.
I don't know that she has a good nemesis there, so they'd have to bring somebody in for her to work with, so that they could work a few matches. Which I think that's something we miss with independent wrestling. We miss these two, or even big wrestling. We miss these two nemesis working against each other for 4 or 5 matches, for a series of matches, so that they can build their program. I'd like to see her bring somebody with her, and then you end up having 2 talents that are either a seasoned talent and a new talent, or 2 new talents that can just work well together, and then them spawn to Willow if they bring Willow back, and Taya and Holiday for sure. Because I mean, really, that's all we can name, right? That's all we got. That, and I think we have the sisters out there, right?
you got Brittany Blake as well.
Oh, that's right.
Muffins, give me a veteran.
Yo, man, like you said, you mentioned her earlier, Melina would be perfect for Taya. Would be awesome. I mean, I'll even go even farther as Sumi Sakai, someone that's well known, a veteran of veterans. Go out there and give her a nice match against Taya. You know, she'll wind up taking the pin, but at least it'll be someone that's a veteran that can, you know, work the same game as Taya does. If I want somebody younger, of course, Janai Kai, because of her kickboxing skills and her Muay Thai, someone that could beef up Taya, since Taya can take that type of punishment. You know, if you want to build Taya as that ultimate heel, you give her somebody, oh, this is someone with a different type of background. She's beating the shit out of Taya, kicking, but she comes out with a win because she was able to adapt to the style, stuff like that, you know, and then I'll start picking up fresh faces from AEW Dark, Elevation, Kane King, Gabi Ortiz. I mean, Vipers, like you said, that there's so many talent that they've been using Heather Reckless, that they be using Megan Myers from Buffalo, that they be using. They are ready. They're getting the mainstay on their indies and getting that shine on a national company. They are brand new and they just need that opportunity. And you never know, man. One of those girls could come here to like a MLW, N.W.A. Impact, and the fans will fall in love with them like that, and that's the opportunity they may need to get attached to something. Sometimes you want to open that little door a little bit and let them put their foot in and then kick it in. And then if, it's the opportunity, man, here's the ball, run with it. Take that and do what you got to do. And if they don't, then okay, they're not ready for this. Go back to the indie. But at least you have a choice. There's so many out there, man. And AEW is giving you plentiful to choose from. I mean, this is like a big pool of female that you see every week twice a week on YouTube. I want her, I want her, I want her, I want her, and go from there. For someone like Allison Kay, one of your favorites, that'll be an awesome match against Taya. I mean, she's out, proven. I mean, she's a veteran and she's still a young face because she still looks young to us. She's fresh, N.W.A. Impact. She done her shit, N.W.A. Tag Team Champion. She'd be a perfect person to go against Taya.
And you took my person. I was like, yeah, he's gonna finish soon. He didn't say her name. I'm good. Allison Kay, aka Sienna, is one of my favorite wrestlers. Absolutely amazing talent. Super sweetheart. Pinkies up. Now she's an Impact Wrestling, Knockouts champion. She won the N.W.A. I think when they first came back, she was holding the belt for a while, and then now belt, she's the tag team champ as well. And this is what I always tell people: they lost it.
Yeah, they lost it.
Okay. This is what I tell people with companies, and I'll tell you out with this one, is that I hate when, like, say, Jacob Fatu versus Josh Alexander. Love the match. One of the best matches, if not the best match of the year that I've watched so far. I never wanted to see Jacob Fatu win the belt, even though I'm a Jacob Fatu fan. Bring the belt over here and do that corny shit. I hate that. I love partnerships where every other belt is on the line except for your top guys. Let your top guys be the top guys. Keep your biggest titles on your show. Now, Allison Kay, she's in a weird position in N.W.A. with no title at the moment, which I didn't know. But let's be honest, physically, she could bang out with Taya. Like, she's not some little girl. And Allison Kay is a very physical wrestler. So I think those two could drop some dope shit. I love all you guys, what you said today. I guess, I don't know, man. Like, lightning might hit me. Don't go outside, guys. I'm agreeing with you too much. This is a bad day for us.
Oh, shit. 8/24, 2022, 350, 314. That's twice in the same day. Oh, shit. I'm going to go play the lotto just in case.
Listen, the SAT1 will drop. Wrestling is Now will drop on Monday. This will drop on Wednesday. The interview with Los Maximos will drop on Friday, which should be a few days from now. Gentlemen, I think we're out of here. We got enough content for the week. Deuces.
Great. Deuces.